The first time you saw that actor, it was a period drama. And what a handsome mustache that was. Then in that spaghetti western, it was even longer. And wow, that handlebar style really got you into police dramas. Hang on, are you sure that was the same actor? Still enjoyed it. On Tubi, the things you love just keep going. Tap the banner to watch now.
Halloween is upon us, and all of the kids, and many, many adults, can't wait to get all dressed up and head out for an evening of fright and fun. But why? What is it about this holiday that fascinates us so much, and has through the centuries? We talked to a horror specialist and a psychologist about the topic, and looked into the story of Halloween to find some answers. Ben Armstrong is co-owner of Netherworld Haunted House in Atlanta and president of America Haunts, an organization of the top haunted attractions in the U.S. He says there is some debate over the holiday's true origins. Is it from a Celtic festival? A Roman feast? Christianity? He says no matter who started it, Halloween has a lot in common with each culture.
One is, of course, it's a harvest celebration. It's at the time of the year where the nights become longer, where it starts to get a little colder. Almost in the classical, mythological death and rebirth cycle, it's the period where we enter into, I guess, winter. So it's the start of death, if you will. So it's both a celebration of the harvest, but it's also a time when the veil is thin and people think about the dark, and they think about ghosts, and they think about ancestors.
Cold days and early nights lend themselves to the feeling of impending doom and death and all things creepy and scary. Armstrong says that the holiday has traveled from Ireland to America and now back to Europe, where children and adults both take part. In the UK, where Guy Fawkes Day in November was the big fall celebration, Halloween attractions have become very popular.
It's actually the second largest money-making holiday after Christmas that we have. And the other thing that's happened with Halloween is that it was a kids' holiday, but it's sort of kind of grown into an adults and young adults holiday. It's now a lot of the traditions that were formerly trick-or-treating, 20, 30 years ago, now there's a big focus on Halloween parties. There's a focus on going to haunted attractions.
Unlike family holiday times like Thanksgiving and Christmas, Armstrong says that Halloween has become more of a party time, like New Year's Eve. And with the Halloween party come the mask, the makeup, and the costume. We asked Dr. Janina Scarlett about that aspect of the holiday. Scarlett is a clinical psychologist, scientist, and self-proclaimed full-time geek. She's also a practitioner of superhero therapy. She says that costumes allow us to hide our true selves for a while and become someone whose attributes we might admire.
There's something really exciting about dressing up, about pretending to be someone we're not. We're usually going throughout our day completely maybe inhibited or confined by our environment or social rules. But when we put on a costume, maybe we can pretend to be someone different. We can almost try on a different lifestyle for a second. And at that moment, maybe we don't have to be as inhibited. Maybe it can be really exciting to do that. So for that reason, many people actually really enjoy dressing up as different characters, sometimes even dressing up as completely opposite characters of their true personality.
Scarlett says that the character you choose may say something about your personality, that you're heroic or like a certain time period in history, or not.
It means different things to different people. There's not one blanket statement for everyone. For some people, they just like certain costumes or certain characters. For others, they like to dress up as the very heroes that inspire them. For example, some people always go as Batman, for example, or Batgirl, because they really admire these characters and they want to be like them. Others like to dress as villains, and I have some concerned parents sometimes contacting me and asking me, what does it mean if their child wants to dress up as the Joker from Batman? And it doesn't mean anything. Sometimes it's just fun to pretend to be bad. And usually the people that dress up as villains are not the kind of people that would do anything like what the character they selected would do. It's fun to role play sometimes. Gameplay and role play is actually healthy for people. When we're little, we play all the time. But when we grow up, we kind of lose that ability.
Halloween costumes are sometimes funny, sometimes heroic, and a lot of the time, scary. Why is it that we want to be scared? We go to haunted houses, horror movies, and allow ourselves to be frightened on this day like no other.
When we're afraid, too, we kind of bond together. And when we're close to other people who are also afraid, our bodies actually release a hormone called oxytocin that makes us feel good. So we can be scared and excited at the same time. And the physiology of fear and joy is actually the same. So when we know that we're being scared on purpose, it's exhilarating.
It's not so much the chance to be horrified that makes people go to haunted attractions, though. Armstrong says it's more the element of surprise.
Now, when I go into a haunted attraction, I'm not truly afraid of the haunted attraction. But if I open myself up to observe what is going on around me, I can be startled just like anybody, because that's the key aspect. Almost anyone can be startled, and as a sudden shock, someone jumps up, there's a loud noise, something unexpected happens, and that almost anyone can experience that. And that is a thrill. You have a rush of adrenaline. Afterwards, you feel good. If you're scared and it's something truly, truly horrifying that's happening to you, that's a bad feeling. You know, that's a feeling where you're like sick in your stomach. But when you get startled and then immediately you realize you're safe and you laugh, it's a great feeling.
Even the experts can be scared at Halloween, as our guests can attest to.
I get scared by mundane things. I get scared by rain on a busy night. I get scared by things that make it hard to operate my business. I'm not afraid of the dark or particular critters or any of that. It's more the more mundane things that people in business are afraid of, I'm afraid.
Zombies, I think that's probably my scariest. And I love Walking Dead, and at the same time, zombies freak me out.
To find out more about this topic and our guests, Ben Armstrong and Dr. Janina Scarlett, head to viewpointsradio.org. For more behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and X by searching Viewpoints Radio. This segment originally aired in 2018 and was written by Evan Rook. Our executive producer is Amira Zaveri. Our studio manager is Jason Dickey. I'm Marty Peterson. Coming up next week.
They experience what's called a conditioned arousal. They might be sleepy, they get in bed, and then their brain wakes up. And that's a really common experience that we hear from people with insomnia.
Tired of feeling like a zombie each morning? Why, you may be sabotaging the quality of your sleep. Then,
we are searching for life across the Drake equation, which means that from life's origin to the search for extraterrestrial intelligence.
Since the dawn of civilization, humans have asked, are we really alone? I'm Marty Peterson.
and I'm Gary Price. These stories in depth on your public affairs magazine, Viewpoints.
And that's Viewpoints for this week. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram to learn more about upcoming shows and find a library of past programs on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Spotify. Plus, you'll always find previous segments and more information about our guests at viewpointsradio.org. Join us again next week for another edition of Viewpoints.
The United States Border Patrol has exciting and rewarding career opportunities with the nation's largest law enforcement organization. Border Patrol agents enjoy great pay, outstanding federal benefits, and up to $20,000 in recruitment incentives. If you are looking for a way to serve something greater than yourself, consider the U.S. Border Patrol. Learn more online at cbp.gov/careers/USBP. That's cbp.gov/careers/USBP.